Good morning, my friends. Welcome to Roger's Reflections on Tuesday, August 11th in the year 2020. We continue with our in-depth look at the book of Philippians, and today's passage builds off of the last 2 days. It's good stuff. And so we're going to be reading verses 5 through 8 today in chapter 2. Let the same mind be in you that was in Christ Jesus, who, though he was in the form of God, did not regard equality with God as something to be exploited, but emptied himself, taking the form of a slave, being born into human likeness, and being found in human form. He humbled himself and became obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross. Yesterday we talked about humility, and in humility consider others better than yourselves. Based upon the characteristics of God we found in verses 1 and 2, and how Paul was encouraging the church to be of one mind, to be together, not based upon this or that, or this characteristic or that description, but based upon the characteristics of life in Christ. Loving Christ. And so he said, let's be together. And he said, I understand that pride and ambition have a part to play, and we have gifts and skills that we are supposed to live up, but in humility, let others think of others first. And so even as people are thinking, I was thinking, okay, better said than done. It's easier to talk about humility than it is to do it. And, because I know what I'm good at and I know what others aren't. That's just life. And I know, where I feel like I fit in the priority of things. But then Paul pulls out the big guns. He says, all right, if you want to talk about humility, if you're having a hard time with this whole concept of humility, let's talk about what Christ did. Let's talk about how he humbled himself. What kind of mind, what kind of thought process did he have in mind? How was he? What was he thinking of when he did this? When he humbled himself, when he came down from heaven, he was equal with God. When he came down from heaven, lived as a commoner, lived as a carpenter's son, lived in the middle of nowhere, and then died a criminal's death upon the cross. That's humble. That's humility. And if we know why he did that, and we do, my friends, we do. We have all sorts of writings here. You go back to the New Testament, through the Gospels, and on through Paul's letters, and really we see it in the books of the Old Testament as well. We know why Christ did this, because he loved us. For God so loved the world, he gave his only Son. Whosoever believeth in him shall not die, but have everlasting life. Christ humbled himself. He is the definition of humility. And if Christ could do that, then I can allow someone else to go in front of me. That's tough. That's tough. When you think that you've been overlooked, when you think, you deserve something. That's tough to swallow. But Christ did it. And he is our example of what humility, what love and compassion, what commitment, what obedience, what trust is all about. Something for all of us to think about today, my friends. We'll talk to you tomorrow.